Hey there everyone, this is Jeff with StarCat Products here to bring you Card Critic number 9. What is Card Critic number 9 going to be about? Well, recently we had a vote on the Facebook page against either Hatsune Miku, Weiss Schwarz starter deck, or the Sailor Venus, Sailor Moon starter deck. So which one do you think won? Which one? Which one is so much more popular, has so much more screen time, and is practically known by every anime fan in existence? Well, believe it or not, it was Hatsune Miku with the Weiss Schwarz Hatsune Miku Project Diva F starter deck. So what the heck is Hatsune Miku Project Diva F as part of the Weiss Schwarz trading card game? Well, in order for me to do that, I might need to go in a little bit about what Hatsune Miku is actually about. Well, she is an android girl, anime girl, that sings songs. She is based off a software called Vocaloid, which is what she is. And she has a number 1 on her arm, which you can't see on the plushie. But she's the first model of the Vocaloid 2 series, and it is made by Krypton Future Media, which is a voice synthesis software, where you make your own music on your computer, and Hatsune Miku will sing a song for you. So that's what Hatsune Miku is. She's super popular. She's basically a digital diva. She has online songs you can see on YouTube. And she's practically getting worldwide concerts everywhere. She's like a hologram, and she looks really cool, and she's awesome. So what does that have to do at all with the Weiss Schwarz card game? Well, Weiss Schwarz is an anime-based trading card game made by Bushiroad, which many of you may know for their original game. Well, not necessarily their original game, but their main game that they make, which is Card Fight Vanguard, which is a game. This is a disclaimer that I'm not going to review, because that would be almost silly. It would be like me being a Magic the Gathering Yu-Gi-Oh player, basically saying that Vanguard sucks, or being a Pokemon player saying that Magic the Gathering sucks. I mean, there's no point. The Vanguard is very mainstream, so we're going to talk about more of a spin-off product, which is the Hatsune Miku Project Diva F Weiss Schwarz expansion set for Weiss Schwarz. I know I'm not pronouncing this right, but it's basically white and black in German. That's what the name stands for. And so it's a game where you play as a lot of different anime characters from different games and manga. The newest set is Baki Monogatari. I know I probably butchered the crap out of that name, but this is the newest set. They come in these cool, what are called trial decks. They're not necessarily starter decks, they're trial decks, because that's what Bushiroad calls their starter decks. They're basically the same as a starter deck or pre-constructed deck, but whoa, they're falling apart because we opened them, but we wanted to put them back where you can see them. But they have really cool foil cards on them. The new set's kind of gimp and doesn't give you the foil card for some reason. So yeah, and it has a lot of stuff to go with it. So those are the trial decks. I actually bought these sleeves at a convention. It has one of my favorite characters on here, Rise Kujikawa from Persona 4. And these are really neat. I paid a good penny for these, like $23 or something. Probably was a ripoff. But these sleeves are from Weiss Schwarz. These are Weiss Schwarz sleeves. So there's, not proxies, don't make fun of me. And there's also, for our favorite digital diva, Hatsune Miku sleeves as well for the game. So there's a lot of tat and stuff for this game. And one main one I want to show you that I paid a good bit of money for is the playmat. Yeah, she is so happy to see us. So yeah, so that's basically what Weiss Schwarz is. It's an anime-based card game. It's loosely around the mechanics of Card Fight Vanguard. I'm not really certain which one came out first. I'm leaning towards that Weiss Schwarz actually came out first and then Card Fight Vanguard. And there's also another game that Bushiroad made called Future Card Buddy Fight. I think that's what it's called. And it's basically another Card Fight Vanguard mod or Weiss Schwarz mod where I'm about to show you how to play, and you're going to see some similarities if you ever played Card Fight Vanguard. So stand by and we'll get to showing you how to play this game. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty that is the Weiss Schwarz trading card game. So basically, there are 3 card types in the game. Your main card type is going to be the character card. And on the character card, you're going to have 2 major things you're going to be looking for. In the top left, there's the level, where you can kind of see it there. You have the level at the top. At the top, it has a color, and underneath it, there's a cost. And on the right, there is a hexagon, which is what's called the card's trigger. So basically, there's 4 different colors in the game. There's green, red, blue, and yellow. And so basically, this is a level 1 green card that costs 1, and it has 6,500 power. Power is only on the character cards in the game, and here are your types, or I don't know what they're called, identifiers. And these are basically the different types, attributes associated with character cards to help you identify them. So the main way that you play these things is they have levels. So on the top left it says level 0. This is the Nice to Meet You Hatsune Miku promo card that is for the Project Diva F set. They give these away at tournaments. I got 4 of them just to kind of show them off to you here. And so Nice to Meet You Miku is a level 0 card. So in your deck, in the beginning of the game, you have what's called, see if I can get it where you can kind of see this. So on the mat, you have this zone here. This is what's called your clock. So at the beginning of the game, you'll draw 5 cards. And then you can select one of the cards you don't need on your clock phase and put it into your clock. And this is basically how much damage you have. And you can draw 2 more cards. And at the beginning of the game, you can play cards that are level 0 and put them into what's called either your center stage, which is the front, or you can put them in the back row, which is called your backstage. And so the idea is to get the opposing player's clock up to 7 cards, and then they'll do what's called level up. It's where they take the 7 cards that are in their clock, and they'll move one of them over to what's called their level area, which is over here on the left. This is your level area, and when you reach level 4, you lose. So how does leveling up help you out in the game? Well, as you can see here on the Hatsune Miku Phone World, I think that's how you pronounce that style, she is a level 1 character. So since she's level 1, I have to be level 1 in my level zone in order to play her. So by being level 1 now, and I have a green card in my level area, I can play level 1 cards from my hand. But there's a catch. So when you play all these cards out and you start fighting, when you fight, you can attack a card that is in front of you or to the side of you. So this character here, the Funny World style, she can attack this card directly in front of her, or she can make what's called a side attack against a card to either the left or the right. If you're in the center area of the center stage, then you can attack almost basically anything. You make a frontal here, or you can go left and right to do a side attack. So on the character cards, there's a really, really tiny stat on them. Let's see if it will focus. See that little fleur-de-lis flower right there? That Boy Scout symbol, that fancy looking flower? Well, that's how much damage Miss Nice to Meet You Hatsune Miku would deal when she would fight. So when you fight, you basically tap, which is called a resting position, I believe, in this game. And this is called standing up, and this is what's called reversed, or defeated. So all the cards start off standing up, and then you can attack by going into a resting position, and then you reveal the top card of your deck. Now, if you get one that has something in the corner where the trigger is, you can use, basically, if you do what the symbol says. So if we popped off this Hatsune Miku heartbeat, and she had the trigger icon in the top right, she would give this attacking Nice to Meet You Miku an additional soul that she would deal. Whenever you attack, you always would deal damage, but your opponent can reveal the top card of their deck and reveal a proxy time machine. So we'll look at the real one. So this is what's called a climax card. A climax card can be either defensive or offensive. When you're attacked and you reveal one, it has what's called a double trigger or a critical. And she will give Nice to Meet You Hatsune Miku an additional 2 soul to her base 1 soul that she has. So there's the 1 here, and you have the additional 2 here, so that make 3. And so when the defending player would take damage, they would go 1, 2, and then 3, and those cards would go into their clock. I noticed this is really unorthodox how to explain this game, and I want to give a shout out to, I'll make a annotation link, probably like right here, to I think it's called Team Cardboard, where they showed a video of how to play this, because the rulebook for this game is absolutely terrible. They're so proud of it, and when you barely know how to play, and when you go to look up the rulebook online, they give you the same one that's in the freaking package. It's aggravating. So with the climax, so now that we dealt damage, we know how to attack now. The other thing you can do is right before your attack step, there's what's called a climax step, and you can play one of these, and you can do the effect that's in the bottom left-hand corner of the card here. So when this card is placed in your climax area from your hand, draw a card, choose one of your characters, and that character gets plus 2,000 power and plus 1 soul. So it has an effect that's a little bit less powerful than its trigger, but you can use it to basically get like a super awesome move in, get some big damage in, and take your opponent out. So when you go first in the game as well, you only can attack with 1 character, and every turn after that you can attack as many as you want. And characters always deal damage when they attack unless negated by the opponent revealing a climax card. So there's one more card type that we haven't talked about yet. Let's see if we can go. Here we go. This card type is called the event card. The event card is basically identical to the character and how you play them. It has the level and the cost and the color, and the triggers, of course, in the top right. And then basically what an event card is basically like the standard spell that you would play in like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or a trainer card in Pokemon and a spell in Magic. You just resolve its immediate effect, and then it goes to what's called your waiting room or discard pile. So in this game, as you start revealing cards at the top of your deck, you'll run out of cards. And when you run out of cards, you got to get what's left of your deck, and you shuffle it. And then you take what's called a refresh point of damage, and that card will go into your clock. And anytime you have 7 cards in your clock, you level up. And so as you level up, you can play some stronger cards. Cards go from level 0 to level 1 to level 2, and lastly up to level 3. Pretty cool, huh? So basically the first player to reach level 4 is the one that loses, and it's a pretty quick game. It's quite enjoyable. So let's get into some of the good and bad points of the Weiss Schwarz trading card game. Alright guys, let's talk about some of the good points of this game. The main thing that I want to mainly discuss is that this game is fun. It is very, very fun. Let's pop this deck open and take a look at it. But one thing that I do enjoy about the game is that it's very quick, and you can basically come back from any situation, really. Like when you start losing, you don't necessarily just like die like you do in a lot of games. So here's the starter deck here. It has the foil level 3 Hatsune Miku original on the front. But I do enjoy this game because the trigger mechanic's very interesting. It's not something you see very often in a lot of games where you basically your deck is a resource. And it makes the game really interesting because instead of just using cards that are always powerful and really, really good, that have a lot of abilities, it kind of makes you use some weaker cards to basically power your deck up, because the weaker cards always will have the triggers on the top most of the time, and the cards that are really, really good, they don't necessarily have them. And at the same time, the triggers only really show up on cards that are higher level. So as you can see, like a lot of these like level 2 Mikus, they have the triggers on the top, but not the lower level ones. Like these Kagamine Lin, I can't pronounce these names very good. He doesn't have anything. So he's not so great to play, but he has the ability, so we can get it to focus, during your turn, this card gets plus 1,000 power, which is really awesome, because the standard like drop that you can play, like this one here, the Kagamine Rin, she's at 3,000, and she doesn't do anything. Level 0. So it kind of makes you think about, do I want abilities and potentially be weaker, or do I want to be a vanilla card that doesn't really do a lot, but I have a trigger on the top? Or do you want to play a whole bunch of higher level cards and have a bunch of triggers? So it really makes you balance your deck out. One thing I really don't like, you see here on the side, see how you can see the kind of the outline of the cards? This is why borders are invented. I know it's kind of hard to believe, like, playing cards like that you play poker with and stuff have a border to kind of keep you from seeing what you're going to kind of draw, because a keen eye can kind of tell, kind of learn these things. Like right here, I bet is the Pansy Miku. Yep. See, it's just, I know it's really dorky that I can do that, but that's the name of the game. This is Card Critic. We talk about cards. So I do enjoy the game. It's really fast. I like how in order to play your stronger cards, you have to basically be closer to death. So if you play a bunch of stronger stuff, you're going to be basically getting your butt kicked in the beginning of the game. And as you're getting your butt kicked, you can finally start playing some good stuff. But a lot of times, when you depend on that, you don't have enough momentum anymore. Like, yeah, you can hit really, really hard for maybe 3 or 4 soul per attack. But if your opponent has a lot of cards left in their deck, you're just going to negate everything by flipping the Climax cards up. So I often try, like when I play, and I do really, really, I win a lot with this. This is a really good starter deck, FYI. One thing that tends to happen when I do really, really well is that I'll barely get the level 2. Like I mainly try to do a lot of damage and kill a lot of things with just my level 0 and 1 Miku cards, and just tear up my opponent. I mean, many of the games that I've actually done really good in, I've actually barely hit level 2. When I hit level 3, it's cool. I get to play really good cards, but most of the time, like when I get to level 3, I'm probably almost dead anyways. So it has some balance to it. And so another thing that's really great about this game is that even though you can mix the cards up, so let's take a look at this Sword Art Online one here. Get this guy open. Come on out. They spill everywhere. It's awesome. So, you look on the back, it's the same backing. Remember a game I used to complain about called the Arc System? See? Same game. So there's no doubt in your mind what game these cards are from, which is really cool. I like that. And I do like how you can mix the cards up. Like some of them are general enough where you can mix them together and they still work perfectly fine. Especially the Climax cards. The Climax cards are really neutral, like set neutral. They don't have well, you got to play only cards from this and only cards from that in order to make them good. They have pretty general abilities along with a lot of the basic character cards. So that's pretty awesome. So yeah, and does it make any sense that a pigtailed singer girl is beating up digital avatar people from some online game? Does it make any sense? What's Baki Monogatari? It's some purple haired girl. I hear this is a really cool anime. But again, this is just like a schoolgirl. It's just, what's the deal? Why does it? How does it make sense that Oh, a schoolgirl. There's magical girls. See, magical girls make more sense to fight than a singer girl does. But it doesn't matter. Because Hatsune Miku has a lot of popularity, and it makes sense when your game is based off of popular intellectual property to make sets of stuff that's popular. So why not make a set based off Hatsune Miku Project Diva F? Why not? I mean, shoot. Everyone knows who she is. Just make the cards good, and it's the game will still be balanced amongst itself. That's the beauty of it. Like, they can pick almost anything, and it'll work. So I do really enjoy this game. It's pretty fun. And another thing that I really like and don't like at the same time are the foils. So let's look at this. So here's the Hatsune Miku original that I showed off before from the starter deck. She's kind of like happy and cute and cool. But look how much cooler the foil one looks. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. One thing I don't like about the foils, though, look how it's kind of bent. I don't know if you can really tell. Look at that. See how it kind of floats up? It's not a really good way to show this off. But the main thing about these foils is that they look really awesome, but they tend to bend because the entire thing is foil. And so these things are pretty hard to get a hold of. They look awesome, and they often look way cooler than the original cards that they're based on. So here's my song for you, Hatsune Miku. It's level 2. Pretty cute picture. But look at this one. Oh yeah. Autographed and everything by the voice actress. It's like embossed. It's not like her real signature. But you can see like the detail on this. It looks absolutely awesome. But there's one more I want to show you. Hatsune Miku Electron Diva. This card looks awesome. It's got like a rainbow signature on it. It's got like this texture going on. And she's looking at you all spunky and like, it's awesome. But we gotta get into the bad. I can't just talk how great this game is. It's absolutely perfect, right? No. No, 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 no. It's not perfect. It's not perfect at all. No. I know I argue that it makes sense that, Hatsune Miku's fighting them inside the game. But let me talk about something. This rulebook is freaking horrible. It barely teaches you how to freaking play. It's just like one page. Like, how do you have I know there's a playbook in there, but they don't call it a rulebook. They call it a playbook. Like, this thing is a piece of crap, man. Let's freaking tear this crap up here. This thing is crap. Don't even read it. Go online and see how to play this game, because this rulebook is terrible. I barely understood how to freaking play it when I first read up how to play the game. I played it so wrong, it's insane. I barely understood how the stock works, where all the cards go when you attack. They don't go on your clock, they go on your stock. Why is it clock and stock? Those sound almost the same. The other thing too is like, what's with this artwork on some of these? Like, it's just like faces. Look, it's this girl's face. This one, the rare cards look pretty good. I showed you how the rare Mikus, they look really good. But what about common cards? Oh look, it's a face. Someone's standing there. And that's the thing, like, they're just standing there. There's so many of them where they're just not doing anything. Look at this. It's a huge face. It's stupid, man. Look, this card is like 90% face. What do you just play anime faces and fight people in this game? Look, let's go through this sword art deck. La la la. Oh, look, it's a big face. Oh, look, more faces. Face. All you do is play freaking faces. The Miku cards actually look the best because they actually have some variety going on. They actually show their bodies sometimes. See, look, it's a body. Oh, it's a face again. Oh, another face. Oh, it's a body. The Miku cards actually look pretty good compared to some of the other sets. And I know I just talked about like how the foils are great and stuff, but how much do you think this cost? Huh? This looks pretty fancy, huh? Doesn't it? How much do you think this cost? Well, the original one, the standard one, it's about $10, $12. Guess how much this one is? I'll give you a moment. 30 bucks. So this card has a standard foil too. There's also these cards called parallels. So this is a Sadistic Music Factory. This is a Climax rare card. As you can see by its microscopic text, like right here, the CR. So this is the Sadistic Music Factory. This is like one of my favorite Climax cards. It's really, really, really good. And I'm like, oh, cool. This card has a foil version. Awesome. It has a foil version. You know, an alternate artwork, cool card that I can get. You know, similar to this. I got this stupid blonde kids thing that basically is the same as all the other Climax cards. I'm probably going to sell this. But, you know, you can barely tell it's foil. I have it in this thing because the stupid foils bend up all the freaking time. And they had to keep them, like, practically laminated in cement to keep them from freaking bending up into pieces. So this is the Sadistic Music Factory. I bought 4 of these for $1 a piece because they're really good. I'm like, oh, so it's got a foil version. I wonder how much the foil version is. How much do you think the foil version is? Just think about it just for a little bit. How much do you think that foil version is? You know, I told you the Electron Diva went from $12 to $30. That's not bad. You get a way cooler artwork, a rainbow signature. That's awesome. How much do you think this one is? Focus. How much do you think this one is? $60 to $70. What? This card costs $1 regularly. And it goes up to 60? I mean, that's like a massive price increase. It's insane. Why is that? That game is built basically to make you buy packs. I know it's a shame people make money off of card games. But the markup is insane. And don't forget, let's get into price. How much do you think these starter decks cost? How much do you think? Look at right here. We're going to cover up the company. $25. $18. These things are so expensive. The packs. So the Hatsune Miku like sleeve things, they're pretty cheap. They're like $18 or so, which is like twice as much you pay for a regular pack of sleeves. But these packs, these things go almost $10 a piece online. I know you should only pay about $5, but there's people that mark them up that much. We're gonna open these, by the way. Don't you worry. And so let's take it out of the sleeve. I don't want it to reflect in your face like crazy. This is the Hatsune Miku Factory Tyrant. This is a level 3 character, and it's really cool. Artwork's pretty good, as usual, as we expect from a rare. And it's got some pretty... It goes with this Sadistic Music Factory. Oh, I forgot to mention on the Sadistic Music Factory. What do you think the foil one looks like? It's basically this picture with no background, and it is silver. And it has her in the middle. $60 to $70. So this one. This card's about as much as Electron Diva. 10 to 12 a piece. How much do you think her triple rare parallel foil is? Tick tock tick. $100. Wink. Wow. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you, unless you got a good bit of money and a very good job, you're going to be paying a lot of money for foils in this game. You're going to be paying a good penny, just kind of period. It's kind of similar to a lot of card games. You're going to have to put some money in. But I think easy, you can put in probably like $250 to make a pretty, you want some bling in your deck and get some of the good cards. Probably $250 because you got to start the game out. So you got to buy some starter decks, 1 or 2 starters. I always recommend buy at least 1, 2, or 3 of a starter deck when you want to get into a card game. And you want to buy maybe like a booster box of packs, like $90. So that's already like $150. And you got to buy singles. And you might want to get a couple of these foil fancy cards with the way cool alternate art on them. And then pretty soon you're at $250. And you have one deck. It's it's a fun game. Don't get me wrong. I have to complain about it. That's the whole point of this show, is to criticize card games. Oh, man. So let's all just kind of calm down. Let's all calm down. And let's go ahead and open up some of these packs I got and then get to the conclusion of this. Alright guys, pack opening time. What are we gonna get? So using your newfound knowledge of the game, what do you think would be a good card for us to get? Not this one. Alright, let's see what we got. Got some guy growing a bathing suit. Ooh, Wonderworld. Nice. Whoa, whoa. Whoa. Pulled one of the signature foil cards. Nice. I actually played this in my deck. Freaking awesome, you guys. That is amazing. I never thought I'd actually pull something really rare on this show. That is awesome. So I actually have a regular together with you, Miku. Let me get her out real quick here. That's amazing. I can't believe we pulled that. I mean, you guys have such good luck. You just listen to some angry guy online complain about the game, and the first thing we get is like a $15, I think, foil card. So here's the regular one. It's adorable. And here's the foil one. That's awesome. Man, I'm excited about that. So that's the whole point. Like, you spend a lot of money on this game, but the cards are just so cool or cute or awesome or whatever that you just don't care. It's like a drug. You just keep buying more. It's crazy. All right, come on, come out. The packs are kind of cool because they have this little slit on the top. It makes it really easy to open them, by the way. I do like it. So Crane, guy in a swim trunks, gross. Oh, that's a pretty good card. Alright, we got Mr. Kagamine Lin Original. So you can see down the bottom here, they have the rarity, so there's a triple rare. So that's a pretty good card to pull. And you can see here on the Climax card, right here, it's a Climax common. You got a Climax card in every pack. And on our signature card that we just pulled, let's kind of get it to focus. Come on, buddy. Focus. Not really. There we go. XR. Looks like a parallel. I think that's what I call them, parallel rares. So that's awesome, you guys. So what do you think we're going to get the last one? I know we're not going to get anything really awesome. We already pulled the super awesome foil card from it. But hey, you never know. You never know, right? Yeah. I've seen her before. The Kagamine Ran Striped Bikini. This is a regular rare. And a Freely Tomorrow. Cool. Woo-wee. I'll tell you what, that's pretty awesome. Oh, this table gets to be such a mess when I do these reviews. There's cards everywhere. So in conclusion, this is a pretty good game, you guys. And I know I complain about it a lot, but it really is a good game. You know, listen to Miku, buy her cards. She's adorable. It's a pretty good game. I mean, it's fast. It has a lot of strategy to it, and it plays a lot differently from the standard. Oh, let me draw my hand. Oh, I drew exactly what I needed. Let me mow you down in one turn. No, if you try to mow someone down in one turn, they might pop a trigger, and you don't do any damage anyways. So, woohoo! So, in conclusion, it's pretty fun. I mean, I'd give it a try if you could find it. The cards are pretty expensive. I definitely recommend going online to probably try to get these. A lot of the singles you can probably pick up, like the regular paper ones, for no more than $5 a piece. There's a couple rares that are worth about $10. If you like Sword Art Online, Madoka Magica, Bakemonogatari, and Fate Zero, which I forgot to mention, those are the 5 sets that we have. The Japanese version has a lot more, like Evangelion, the Persona 4 that I mentioned earlier. But, you know, there's 2 formats. There's the Japanese format and the English format. So you got to make sure that your cards you have are legal. So it's probably just stick to the English one just to be safe. And so yeah, this was Jeff. I hope you enjoyed this. This cost a good pretty penny to get these, but man, it was worth it, you guys. I thank you all for voting on the Facebook post. It would have been interesting to talk about Sailor Moon, but we can definitely get some of those later. We got the anniversary coming up for Sailor Moon, so we can talk about that. So don't you worry. So anyways, anyone, I do recommend this game. This was a good review for once. We're not going to complain about things too much, I hope. And this was Jeff. I hope you have a great run. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on www.starcatproducts.com. Take care. Hey there, guys. I kind of just wanted to show you kind of like the devastation that I cause when I do these reviews. And look at this table. It's covered in anime faces everywhere. So I just wanted to give you this idea. This is how much devastation is caused by a Card Critic review. Anywho, this is Jeff. Goodbye.